For a long time I wanted to share my story of how the Hero program has shaped this chapter of my life. It's been hard to find the words, actually, and I haven't known how to get across all the tendrils that have been moving consistently through my life since I reached out to Paul. I think my words to him were, I know you only do this for men. So this was about a year ago. But, I think I'm in trouble as a new mum. I'm losing ground every day and my confidence is dust. I remember saying that, and I remember writing it too. It was, I think, very late or in the middle of the night, and I was awake, just ruminating over how far I was slipping away from the strong, confident, excited, positive person I had been. I was feeling invisible, unrecognizable to myself. I don't think I was depressed. I don't think I was anxious. I think my identity had been crushed by becoming a new mum and a solo mum, and I was no longer the center of my own life. I was last in line in terms of priority, and all the people in my life, between my son and my clients and community and other things that I was still trying to hold on to. If I had to sum it up, the three major challenges maybe that I had were I'd prolapsed after giving birth. I had a beautiful birth, but a few weeks later I prolapsed, and that changed everything. It changed the way I walk, it changed the way I could exercise, it changed my entire comeback. It's changed the arc, I think, of my life as a woman, or it had. So one thing was I couldn't see how I was ever going to get back into shape. Two is just, body image. My body had changed so much, and my ability to influence the way my body was changing had also changed so much. And lastly, just my confidence as a person. I just didn't make any kind of impression on myself, if that makes any sense. I don't think I liked who I was, and I used to like who I was. So something had really shifted and changed. I was aging also. I would say I was a young 42 when I had my son. I was young, I looked young, and I felt young. And then I think by the time I reached out to Paul, I was kind of like a really old 45. I looked old and I felt old, and I felt like my opportunities and my options were really slipping through my hands. So that's how I came to Paul, really not expecting him to say yes, but I was desperate. I thought I would try. And Paul said yes. He said, let's talk. And we did talk. And he said, I want to do this. I want to do this for you, and I want to do this. And so we began our journey. What I learned from Paul and the heroes that he works with are still in my life today. I'm walking while recording this because that's what I do now when I'm on the phone. I'm trying to keep active all the time. I always hear their words in my ears. I feel the difference of the program. I feel stronger physically. I feel stronger emotionally. The most important thing was that somehow, by learning that I could gradually rebuild strength and momentum, strength in my body and momentum in my life, and momentum in my body, I could also rebuild strength in my life and momentum in my life. And that's what happened. They were parallel. It's hard to put my finger on exactly what it was, But having that team, the more I spoke to them, the more, the more I shared with them, the more they stepped in, the more I stepped in, the more they stepped in, the more I stepped in, the more they stepped in. And at the end of 3 months, I was on the beach in Byron Bay with my son, and I found myself running. I was running in my bathers on the beach, not because I'd lost that much weight, not because I looked different to what I had 3 months ago, but because I felt different to what I had 3 months ago. I felt different, and that had changed everything. And, I'd moved from bikinis to one-piece bathers, and now I'm thinking of going back to bikinis, not because my body's different, but because I feel different, and because I accept and like myself again, and because I feel like I'm in control, like an agent in my own life again. And the turning point for me was beginning the Hero program with Paul.